I have been doing my darndest to not give a single care about what's going on in Davos. I know it might not be popular with some people that are out there, but the whole, my new world order, the globalists that are out there, it's like in the grand scheme of things, sure, it might matter at some grander sense, and yeah, okay, there's always them who are pulling the strings and all that stuff. Yes, obviously, all of the heads of the matrix are going to be there, but if you really just focus on yourself, chances are you're going to be better off than just wondering what a bunch of doddering old fools are talking about. In case in point, now because it's got so ridiculous, now I'll tell you about what's going on in the WEF. How about that nice compromise we have right here? So we got a couple of different people saying a bunch of stupid stuff. So first and foremost, we got current climate czar, and holy shit, could you imagine this motherfucker actually being president in 2004? He could have been. You remember, those were your choices. I've been thinking about this lately. Okay, like when I was growing up, boy, there were some really good presidential options that were run through, just even on both sides, if we can just trot out that old expression. But funnily enough, we're going to be talking about both of the people that were running against Bush, okay? Spoiler. And then after that, on the Republican side, the guys that didn't win, not saying that the winners were any good themselves, okay? You had what, old fucking, flumpy arms McCain, and then binders full of women Mitt Romney. I know that story's complete fucking bullshit, but it's still Mitt the Cuck Romney. But wow, especially in my cognizant lifetime, like, I was alive for Bill Clinton, but he was too busy skeeting on dresses for anybody to really acknowledge. Now, you know what, maybe Bob Dole wasn't exactly the best person to run either. In 96, that would have been. 92, that three-way, I was like, what, barely alive? I was born March in 1990, for Christ's sake, so I don't fucking remember any. Funnily enough, okay, more of a tangent aside, okay, the one of the first political things I remember was a Christmas tour of the White House. I think it was on ABC or CBS. It's fucking weird that I remember this, but it was hosted by the Clintons, who were leaving in, I guess that would have been 2000, right before the millennium. It was on TV. It was kind of weird. I don't remember much from the show, but that's what I remember specifically. And that's the only memory I have of the Clinton administration. Kind of strange, right? But whatever. I shared that story because we're going to have a bunch of different strange ones to be foisted upon you here in the next couple of minutes. So, John Kerry predicting the worst consequences of climate change despite carbon cutting efforts. Oh my God, global warming's here and it's going to kill us all. Fiery death. Or, I don't know, some fucking ice age is just going to befall us all. I understand, okay? Listen, in the past 16 months or so, the past couple of years, I'll give you the past couple of years, okay? In the summertime up here in Grand Prairie, Alberta, and that's where I'm at, okay? We've had 50 above Celsius. In this dry old arid climate, it fucking suck, dude. Like, it was pretty bad. And we've also, for three consistent winters, have had a week, multiple days in a row of 40, touching 50 below. This year had the added benefit of freezing ice fog at the time, so that was fun. Okay, so yeah, is there something to the weather changing? I don't know. Is it anything that we as a human race, or rather human species, apply where necessary? Okay, is that anything that we ultimately have a say on? Well, it's not. It's at least something that's not unique to us, okay? Because the world's climate, guess what? Spoiler, it's changed multiple times before. It's a wild concept, I know. People aren't the center of the universe. I know, I'm just as shocked as you are. And even the fear-mongering words of old Senator Lurch ain't really going to change that many positions out there. President Joe Biden's special envoy for climate. That's his official title. I guess second runner-up for Lurch on the Addams Family show on Netflix was... There's a little too long, and they already printed out the business cards. Okay. Appeared at the World Economic Forum on Tuesday to share predictions of doom and gloom and if the world fails to cut carbon pollution. Yeah, a bunch of the world's most wealthy and powerful individuals all getting flued out to one singular location in order to just circle jerk amongst one another for multiple days on end. Yeah, really? Please, tell us how us plebs need to just sacrifice more for the greater good while you guys are just flying around in gold-plated comfort. I'll wait. I'm not convinced that we're gonna get there in a time to do so. What the scientist said, which is avoid the worst consequences of the crisis. He said, promoting a no-carbon future. How the fuck are you gonna get there? Unless we're gonna go full Malthusian and just, well, okay, people are carbon. So, how are we gonna get to a no-carbon future? Oh, is that where the doom and gloom is coming from? All right. Kerry gloomily noted. That's the only way that to be completely honest, with a mug like that, can you provide any sort of commentary that isn't necessarily doomy and gloomy? Okay, the reason he got absolutely bunker busted in the 2004 election is because he has the personality of a fucking napkin, and they hadn't figured out how to fortify elections at that point in time. So sucks to suck. Now you're just the climate dude who just shows up at different places on the taxpayer dime. So shout out of hypocrisy, I guess. And a lot of good cheese. Wow. You and I, we know. They don't have a clue how they're going to get there. And most of them aren't on track to get there. Yeah, China, if you're worried about pollution, but you don't want to mention that name at all whatsoever. It's so funny. They always make the help mask up. Oh, but I forgot, there was that other thing, right? You can't spread the coof if you're eating. It's a polite virus. Kerry blamed the flooding in California as a consequence of climate change. Oh, good. John Kerry and, what's her fucking name? Oh, my God. The lesbian who runs a really shit organization. Ellen DeGeneres, that's her name. They're both on the same, wavelength. When there was a fucking mudslide happening behind her, it's like, wow, the climate change is so bad. Bitch, the fucking trees are on fire half of the time when Antifa decides to get a little bit too amorous. Rub some sticks together, and then you blame climate change on that. But then at the same time, climate change is a once-in-a-lifetime fucking flood. Okay. On one hand, the destruction is unfathomable flooding. That is just amazing. Not just California, but Nigeria, Uganda, Chad, Compton, a bunch of other places. He noted that the pledges for carbon-neutral entities were encouraging, but that too many were not fulfilling those promises. Listen, you guys keep driving, or stop doing that. Otherwise, the whippings will commence. Jump ahead a little bit. Is there anything important here? Okay, Kerry lectured business CEOs for failing to recognize the destructive process of growth, in which he described as not an enlightened growth, but as a robber baron growth. Oh, that's nice. Ain't his woman the heir to the Heinz ketchup fortune? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, you go ahead and you lecture us about robber baron tactics, you fucking dolt. Speaking of which, okay, the motherfucker who said that there would be no ice on the caps of Kilimanjaro. California would have busted off into the ocean by, 2010? Okay. And then basically Arizona would be sitting on some fucking, coastal property here, coming on 2 decades. He's gonna continue to say, the day after tomorrow is about to become reality. Okay, Al. The only type of advice I'm going to take from him is where the most reliable rub and tug joints are, okay? Like, outside of that, I don't give a fuck, dude. You were dumb enough to give Tipper Gore a fucking platform, you dumb fuck. Okay, yes, so his takes, at least there's a little bit more character to this one. Okay, there's gonna be boiling oceans, rain bombs, a billion climate refugees, and there's gonna be a man-bear pig as well. Oh my lord, heaven forbid. Former vice president, and that's all you'll ever be. Aw, man. I think he's probably still like a decade and a half younger than Biden. God damn it, politics is dumb. That's why I'm trying to move away from talking about it so much, because it's just a bunch of old fucks just fucking speaking sweet nothings into their oatmeal, and we're supposed to care about this nonsensical shit. It's like, okay, grandpa. It's like, bro, just think about this, okay? If you took these people, if you stripped them of their titles for a second, okay? We don't even need to go back to a feudalistic type scenario, okay? A point in time where the biggest, strongest people would have the biggest, strongest horses, and then they'd go and conquer foreign lands. We don't even need to go down to that. You strip away Al Gore's title, John Kerry's title, Joe Biden's title. These are old people. In regular life, do you listen to fucking 80-year-old people just meandering on about the days gone by? If he wasn't the president of the United States, would you take a man seriously when he says, I know about black people, I know about roaches and corn pop was a bad dude, and Kid played with my leg hair. If he wasn't propped up, literally and figuratively, by the Democratic Party, would anybody give a fuck about that doddering old fuck? I don't think so. Start to look at these people for what they are. Fucking fear merchants. And then you can just have a laugh like the rest of us. Meanwhile, you can be on your own grind and you can be successful in spite of these nefarious fucks. So anyways, what was Gore on about? I said that greenhouse gas pollution, boiling oceans, causing rain bombs. Oh my lord, rain bombs, that sounds serious. Is it going to have a little wick? And creating climate refugees. There's those, the ones that are turning up at the southern border. Oh wait, we don't talk about them. That's the only time that we mention the refugees or trafficking is when the bad masculine guy on the internet starts to do it. During remarks at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, very nice chocolate and the very efficient watches on Tuesday. Gore joined a panel discussion ostensibly exclaiming, examining? Yes, examining. There we go. What the WEF and the White House regularly describe as a climate crisis. Again, the fuck can you actually do about it? And can you quantify what in good God's name is actually going on in regards to a climate crisis? What the fuck is it? Okay, because it went from global warming to climate change to now a climate crisis, all within my relatively brief lifetime. What the fuck are we doing? You go back to the 70s, there's that old news clip of climate cooling as well. So what the fuck are we even doing? But yes, it's definitely driven by fossil fuels, bro. Whatever. One of the panel's hosts framed it as a planetary crisis. Cool. Imagine being that narcissistic. Holy. Driving mass extinction. Where's that happening? Again, I think we just crossed 8 billion people on Earth. But yes, mass extinction. But we'll get there, bro. While really putting humanity's future at risk. Yeah, but you only want like 500,000 people around the world. So just stop it with your dumb shit. Gore claimed, oh boy, strap in for an intelligent take. We're still putting 162 million tons of greenhouse gas pollution into the atmosphere every single day. That's a lot, I'm told, because we don't really have a baseline to compare that against. But that's a big number, so you should be scared. And that accumulated amount is now trapping as much extra heat as would be released in 600,000 Hiroshima-class atomic bombs exploding every single day on the Earth. That sounds bad because you remember in the 40s, well, most of you don't. Well, actually, the people in that room were all 80 plus anyway, so they remember. That was bad. So it's trapping as much heat as a nuclear bomb. Great. I thought the ozone layer was supposed to be diffused by now. But again, we'll just continue to fucking listen to this fear merchant. That's what... that's what's boiling the oceans. Sorry, what? I know, I'm kind of in a landlocked position. I've never been to the ocean or anything like that. But I don't think that the boiling... But I could be wrong, okay? Creating these atmospheric rivers... Sorry, what? And the rain bombs. Oh my lord. Rain bombs. Okay. And sucking the moisture out of the land. Okay. Got another story about other things sucking, but this is just the moisture out of the land. And creating the drought. And melting the ice. Oh, he's still on about melting the ice. Bro, hold the L. Your prediction was categorically wrong. Okay. And raising the sea level. And causing these waves of climate refugees. Climate refugees. Where? Are those the ones that continue to flood the United Kingdom, Northern Europe? Okay. But I guess there's been a climate crisis going on in the Middle East since about, 2012. And then at the southern border for, the past couple of years. It's a roving climate crisis. It'll eventually come to your door if you're not smart enough about it. Predicted to reach 1 billion in this century. So there's 8 billion people on Earth. Oh, but he says this century. So, okay, at least he learned from his previous expeditions that if you don't put a strict timeline on anything, eventually you'll be right. Or if there's enough lackadaisical heads of state that'll just allow this unchecked refugee crisis that's going on in a bunch of countries. And if you just want to slap the old climate change label on top of it, it seems to be what the cool kids are doing, or the geriatrics. If you look at the xenophobia, Bro, bingo, this is your entire fucking card that's out here. Now you're gonna call the climate bigoted? Is that the gag now? This is so wild. And political authoritarian trends that have come from just a few million refugees. What about a billion? Oh my god, well guess what? The wall just got another 10 feet higher. You could lose our capacity for self-governance in this world, and then you could just hear in the back, oh, as somebody just finished. No, we have to act. Now, where do I pick up my check for this very important speech? I was like, well, that's nice. Okay, but now can we get a woman's take on this? Because this is what I want to know from, okay, WEF is the war party. Yeah, we know, because war generates a lot of money and it makes people overall more miserable and more poor. So if we could just, pit all of the useful idiots against one another, you already do that on social media. So because there's one forever war going on in the East right now, you can go fund that. You can make them poorer, and then you can start to blame all of your weakened economies on your political opponents, and then you can just start, pitting people against one another. I see what you guys are doing, okay? And this is why I don't really care all that much about what the fuck is going on up there. It's just all of this shit is so fucking ridiculous that we'll have a laugh at their extents to begin with. But yes, what does the great economic powerhouse of Finland have to say about this? Finland's millennial prime minister. Well, eventually, if given enough time, every prime minister is going to be a millennial, okay? But she's just hilarious, okay? Backs supporting Ukraine for 15 years. 15 years, huh? How much has Finland contributed to the war effort? Bro, you're firmly entrenched in NATO and the European Union, okay? If it wasn't for that, your country would have to, export more than, substandard hockey players and, goofy-looking prostitutes, which we'll touch on, and well, not us though, I don't pay for box, in a very short order. But as somebody who knows about prostitution, Finland's Prime Minister Sanna Marin has said that Europe will support Ukraine as long as needed, even if the war with Russia lasts upwards of 15 years. Speaking with CNN's Fareed Zakaria, one of the 6 people left at CNN, Finnish Prime Minister Sanna Marin. No, it's Sanna. But she is like Santa in the way that she likes to empty a sack or two. 34 years old, said that she believes Europe should commit to backing Ukraine in an open-ended conflict with Russia, rather than seeking to come to a peace agreement and ending the bloody war. Yeah, no, because we can continue to throw a bunch of Ukrainian soldiers against the wall, against the Russian war effort, because then we could just say that the Russians are the bad guys. And that you guys can continue to fund the proxy war abroad and say that all the war pollution is contributing to global climate change. I think the only message that we need to send is that we'll support Ukraine for as long as needed. 1, 2, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, whatever long. Marin, who became the youngest prime minister in history of her country in 2019. I don't know how she fit this speaking engagement in between parties and coke sessions. I think other countries are looking very closely at what's happening to Ukraine. And if Russia would win, that would send a message that you can invade another country. Yes, war's bad, kids, and that's how everything gets started. You see, if I can take from Kamala Harris's explanation here, Russia is a big country, and it invaded a smaller country, and that's how war starts. Fucking dimwits. Elect women, and that's what you get. Rhetoric from Marin on supporting a forever war in Ukraine is reminiscent of similar statements from German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock, of course, who said in September that her government, of course, would support Ukraine as long as needed. Well, if you got Germany and Finland on your side, well, I'll have some weirdly attractive women on your side, I guess. I don't fucking know. Germans for sure. Finns, it's a bit of a roll of the dice, okay? But after all the dumb conversations are done for the day, what are all of these leaders, quote unquote, doing, okay? Because this is, I don't know how long this shit is going on for, okay? I don't know when nap time is for all these old fucks that are up there talking about, the clouds. It's legitimately that fucking meme of just a bunch of old people yelling at the sky, and their only solution is to make the kids pay for it. And it's like, just fuck off for a second, okay? Because we know what you guys are actually doing there, okay? It's the same thing, and it's the same type of action that happens whenever there's a big gathering of highly important people that are out there. Prostitution fucking booms. Prostitutes charge Davos attendees $2,500 a night as sex work's demand booms. Because of course it does. All of these people who are trying to be so altruistic in their endeavors. Oh, we just need to make sure that the world is perfect and wonderful for our kids and our kids' kids and all that stuff. But let's all pay for box, you fucking weirdos. It's like, bro, you take a look at this. It's like Al Gore was getting yacked off at fucking Korean massage parlors, for Christ's sakes, okay? Fucking Klaus Schwab is out there sacrificing shit to Moloch. Like, I could give less of a fuck what any of these people say, okay? I adhere to the principle of not listening to criticism from anybody that I wouldn't take advice from, okay? Because I look at these people and they all just kind of look like they're in various form of melting, okay? These aren't people that are aging gracefully. These aren't people that are taking good care of themselves. So, yo, just continue to look stupid up there and then engage in transactional sex. It sucks to suck, I guess. Scores of sex workers, whores, scores of whores. See, that's even more alliteratively pleasant to say. Have swarmed to the Swiss ski resort. See, you had it there as well. The town of Davos to offer their services to the rich and powerful this week, with some said to have been charging up to $2,500 a night. And that's all your taxpayer money, because let's keep it a buck. This is all getting written off as a business expense. Imagine selling your cooch and it gets written off as a fucking tax benefit. Holy. Every year, the World Economic Forum hosts a 5-day gathering featuring CEOs, dignitaries, actors, rappers, musicians, captains of industry, media figures, and CNN shows up. One prostitute who goes by the name Liana, I'm sure you do, sweetheart, told the German newspaper Bild that she frequently provides services to an American attendee at Davos who pays $750 an hour or $2,500 to spend the whole night. Does he breathe out of his mouth, and is he about a foot taller than you? Because then we could probably narrow it down. She added that she dresses in business attire in order to blend in with the crowd at the WEF gathering. Yeah, of course, and then she just knows what circles to move in, because everybody knows, okay? They all might look the same to the untrained eye, but all of these people, they've been going to the same places, trying to solve the same problems over and over again, decades at a time. They all know the fucking deal, okay? That one right there is in charge of Britain. That one over there is from the sub-Saharan Africa for whatever fucking reason. We're trying to exploit some resources that's over there. That's nice. They're from Southeast Asia, and those are the whores over there, okay? A woman who manages an escort service based in the Swiss town of Aragu, all right, which is located some 100 miles from Davos, told 20 minutes. Is that kind of like a 1/3 of 60 minutes? And she received 11 bookings and 25 inquiries. Wow, imagine being one of the 14 sad sacks that's like, oh, shucks, either I booked a little too late or he was too busy trying to finagle a price. Yuck. And that was just the beginning. Some also book escorts for themselves and their employees to party in the hotel suite. Oh, you gotta buy the 304s for atmosphere modeling and hotel rooms? Come on now. The escort service manager said. I don't know, he said he could drop them off in his Bugatti. I'm kidding. German sex worker took to Twitter to describe her experience mingling with the Davos crowd and the security detail. Her comments were reported to Daily Mail. Yeah, but their article is not laid out and they don't have as many flashy pictures, so I like this one instead. Date in Switzerland during the World Wrestling Federation means, okay, looking at gun muzzles of security guards in the hotel corridor, and then the 24-inch pythons, and sharing giveaway chocolates from the restaurant with them, and gossiping about the rich Davos, the sex workers, Salome Bathus, all right, Balthus, who said she is staying in a hotel near Davos. Okay, cool. Wives at the hotel, bitches at the motel. All right, but who's at the Holiday Inn? Refused to divulge the names of her clients. Yeah, it really doesn't much matter, because we can all fucking connect the dots, okay? Because, well, there's a lot of downtime that's down there if you don't want to be told how bad the fucking earth is going to get in, I don't know, the next 5 years or some shit like that, okay? You're going to need something to preoccupy your time, okay? If you're done playing with poles out on the hill, you might as well go play with a pole somewhere else, just as long as you bring your pocketbook. Oh, I'm sorry, your country's pocketbook. So, with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.